So good evening, everyone. Welcome. A few people messaged me saying they wouldn't be here tonight. May is having a special evening to commemorate her mother's death a year ago. So doing some meditation at home. George is driving down to Lake Macquarie, where he's relocating. So we won't see him probably for a while. Peter said he couldn't come. Sam said he wasn't coming. And I think Anton and Sonia last week said they wouldn't be here this week. But we're here. That's good. So let's settle into the moment with our meditation. So having arrived physically, we can now mindfully, consciously arrive into the present moment mentally, feeling into our body with a deep, relaxing, letting go breath, arriving into the body, arriving into the present moment, arriving into being here now, being here now in the present, this place and point of existence. Meditation is practicing being present in a calm, receptive, attentive, objective way. Moving the mind beyond the ways of the world, clinging, condemning, reacting, resisting, denying, distracting. Developing an openness, a presence, a calm attentiveness to each ongoing moment through each consecutive breath. So using our breath as our main reference point for connecting to the present moment. But firstly, bringing awareness to the body, sensing and feeling our body sitting here, mindfulness of the body. Feeling grounded, settled, centered, present. Noticing some mindful connections, feeling our feet connecting with the floor. Feeling that sensation, feet against the floor. Then noticing and feeling our body connecting with the chair, the cushion, or the meditation stool. Noticing and feeling the quality, the texture, firmness of that. Feeling the sensation of our hands and fingers resting in our lap. Maybe it's a warmth or coolness, softness or moistness. Just noticing, sensing, feeling. Then bringing awareness up to our face, noticing our face, even feeling the air against our face. Maybe perceiving light coming in through the closed eyelids. Some degree of lightness, brightness, color, patterning, or just a blankness. And even looking into that lightness, brightness, blankness through the closed eyelids. Not being distracted by any background sounds, and not getting caught into any internal, mental sights or sounds, where all thoughts occur as a mental sight that we see, a mental sound that we hear. Giving the mind a break from the need to be engaged into thought and thinking, but rather choosing to focus our mind's attention onto the breath, just a naturally occurring breath, particularly through the nose or nostril area. Finding that place of main sensation, directing attention there, holding attention there to feel the inflow, outflow of each naturally occurring breath. Developing mental collectedness, concentration, leading to one pointed focus, deep inner peace and presence. Feeling each breath whilst looking into that lightness, brightness through the closed eyelids, and also using a mental meditative word if we find that helpful, one or two words in the mind in conjunction with each in-out breath. Such words as calm on the in-breath, ease on the out-breath. Calm, ease, calm, ease. Developing focus, concentration, and deep inner calm ease. Please help yourself to some tea and biscuits. So how are we feeling this evening? Okay. Good.
Bit tired.
Tired? So we've moved into winter. Winter allows us to become more aware, certainly, of the body, the needs of the body, warmth. Often we can take our body for granted in spring and summer, outdoors, but winter there's a sense of like, I need to be careful going outdoors. What am I going to wear? Be warm enough. It also is an invitation to slow down a bit. Slow down, less outdoor activities, a bit more at home, especially with the evenings darker than what we do have in summer with daylight saving. So it can bring a different feel, a different mood, a different sentiment, different mind states. So yes, the body's a bit different, feel a bit different, different mind states, different thoughts. A couple of weeks ago, I was standing on the balcony or terrace at my office down in Kingscliff, which I do when I usually arrive there, have a bit of time to set things up, but I like to firstly go out, to open the door, go out onto the terrace area, look at the ocean, see how the ocean looks, and just look around, look down at the road, the roundabout, out towards the across the road to the Woolworths car park. just seeing people. And a couple of weeks ago, there was a woman that was walking along the road, and I was taken by how she was walking. She was walking in a strange way. That wasn't strange, but it was strange in that it was, don't usually see people walking the way she was walking. She was walking at a leisurely pace, not rushing. And I found that striking, but also a sense of like a reminder to, hey, what pace are we living our life at? What pace are we moving around at? So this woman was just walking and walking, not fast, not slow, just at a good pace. A sense of was a gracefulness in how she was walking. She was an older woman, and but she seemed to be fit enough to be able to walk fast if she wanted to. But just this nice sort of graceful pace. And the reflection being that so much of our life seems to be caught up in a pace, in a race that is frantic, frenetic. We end up sort of feeling frustrated, even to the point that we didn't get all that we wanted to get done. Yet we've already achieved so much, but there's already so much that we've set our minds on getting done or experiencing. And I think that maybe we need to be reminded to slow down. Slow down. What are we racing for? What are we running for? Certainly the last few weeks where I've spoken about Maranasati, reflections or mindfulness of death and passing, especially with the death of my client at 73. The sense of like, hey, yes, life is precious, but life is to be lived, not to be run through. It's like we're racing to the next moment, trying to sort of get to the next minute or the next hour or the next day, where, we often lead our life days ahead of ourselves. We're not really here for this day, this hour, this minute, this moment, which is where meditation is really good, because just noticing, focusing on feeling up breath, not the next breath, just this breath, this in breath, not even the out breath until it's the out breath, this in breath, this out breath, this in breath, this out breath, helps to slow things down, helps to slow the mind down, the brain down, the body down, even just sitting still. Sadly, it's just like sitting still, not doing anything apart from just being aware of an in-breath and out-breath has become a foreign experience for us. Like, that's a strange thing to do. People must say, oh, I couldn't do that unless I'm holding my phone and maybe doing some flicking. But just to sit and be and breathe and know in the present, that's special. In a way, it's practicing being alive to life. I don't think life is to be rushed through. Life is to be experienced fully, mindfully, consciously. Life is to be present for, which even begets maybe the reflection: we know what are we alive for? Are we alive to just get through life to the end? Well, we know what the end is, so why rush? What's the rush? Enjoy. Because maybe the rush doesn't allow a sense of enjoying being at one's leisure, to experience life at a leisurely pace. People say, oh, I don't have time for leisure. It's just work and family and doing things. And maybe talk about a leisure activity. It might be something that's done at pace, sort of a fast pace. Go and play some squash, leisure activity. Some tennis, some football. Something that's sort of, an adrenaline-driven activity as a leisure activity, but sort of as a contradiction. So leisure Leisure is something which I think is important to bring into our lives, and not so much as just an activity, a leisure activity, but a way of being. Can we take a leisurely walk? Can we take a leisurely drive? Even if it's a drive to work, I'm driving to work in a leisurely way, not sort of racing and rushing to get there. Even a leisurely drive might be at the speed limit, going faster than the speed limit, sort of rushing. Don't want to go too slow, though. That can be annoying to other people behind. But just the right pace, the right pace. I pulled out this book today in regards to leisure. Has anyone heard of Brother David Steindl-Rast? No? Wonderful man. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not.
He is.
He is?
Yeah.
Must be, what, in his 90s?
Yeah.
So you've heard of him?
Yeah, he does a blog called Gratefulness.
Yes. Yeah, so he is a Benedictine monk, so a Catholic Benedictine monk, and very much appreciative of mindfulness and Buddhist sort of awareness and perspective. And what he says is very much aligned with a Buddhist appreciation, sort of in a way transcends religion, more of a fundamental way of appreciating, being grateful. He says a lot about gratefulness. So gratefulness is the heart of prayer, this book. An approach to life in fullness. I've got another one of his books, The Heart of Listening. Both books were given to me by a monastic friend when I was a monk living in Switzerland. And a sense of a real heartfulness in Brother David Steindl-Rast's expression, writing, talks that he gives. But he speaks of leisure in this book, saying that we tend to think of leisure as the privilege of those who can afford to take time off. But leisure is a virtue, not a luxury. Leisure is the virtue of those who take their time in order to give to each task as much time as it deserves to take. Giving and taking, play and work, meaning and purpose are perfectly balanced in leisure. We learn to live fully in the measure in which we learn to live leisurely. The sense of leisure being a virtue, it's a way of being, it's a way of relating, engaging to experience, which means that then we can work in a leisurely way. We can eat and walk and connect and share in a leisurely way, as opposed to the sort of adrenaline driven, stress, full on next thing approach, which is wearing. You know, the work that I do as a psychologist, one way of seeing where people are getting run down, worn out, burnt out and sick is because they're not living and being at a leisurely pace. They feel driven. And not that anyone said you need to perform better, you need to perform faster, you need to perform and give more out. It's more that it becomes like a paradigm that we're living from. This fast-paced, adrenaline-driven rush. Life is becoming increasingly more complex. And in the complexity, there's also confusion. There's also distress, disorder, dis-ease as well, dis-ease and disease that occurs. And I can see with people, both young and older people, that this pace that we've sort of got caught into, even infecting each other with, it creates illness, anxiety, depression, lack of meaning in the rush, because we're not enjoying and appreciating maybe what we have. The simple things, being alive, being able to breathe, being able to walk and talk and see and hear and taste and experience nature, connect with other people, relate to in one's relationships in a conscious way, listening, sensing, feeling, being being and knowing rather than always doing and thinking. And the result is that in that sort of pace, people get run down and sick, both physically and mentally. So then maybe a new paradigm, part of even Buddhist right view, is to view and approach things in more of a calm, conscious, leisurely way. Maybe even more may be achieved, less mistakes, less sort of like missing out on, forgot to do that because I was rushing to the next thing. More ease and well-being. You think that as a progressive civilized society, we would maybe appreciate this, seeing that, hey, from say the 70s onwards, where things have got sped up, V8 engines, everything got bigger and faster, technology became sort of digitalized, computerized, things got a lot faster from the 70s, so the last 50 years, and the result is, hey, are we happier? Are we more fulfilled? Do we feel better in ourselves? Are we enjoying life more? Not really. Now, there's probably a whole plethora of psychological studies that show that no, it's not that case, not the case. People are not enjoying their life more. People do not feel more fulfilled. People do not feel more at ease in themselves. So it's like, okay, we run that experiment. Let's what's it called? Reject the hypothesis that if I push away what I don't want and try and get more of what I don't have, I'm going to be happy. It's like, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So we need to reject that and maybe become more at ease, more relaxed in ourselves, living more of a leisurely approach to life and to experience, being more present to life. I was talking to someone recently about if he had a sense of meaning and purpose in life. And he's moving towards retirement. And he said that he didn't. And because some of the meaning and purpose that he had was to be able to do certain things that he hadn't been able to do for some time whilst working, and also to be able to do with a body that's fit and healthy, which is not happening at the moment. And so the meaning and purpose and joy in life is gone. I said, well, maybe could it be that the meaning and purpose and perspective and practice of life is to be present for it, whatever's happening. The purpose of life is to be present for it. So rather than being caught up clinging or condemning, reacting or resisting, denying or distracting, just being present in a calm, objective, receptive, attentive way, being at peace with what is. Maybe then seeing things more clearly, understanding, learning from things, and then maybe making different choices. So again, the purpose of life may simply be to be present for it, but in the right way, right relationship to experience. And again, part of that can be approaching things in more of a heartfelt, leisurely type of way, developing a leisurely approach as an attitude, as a virtue, not as an activity that we might get to do at the end of the week or on holidays or maybe in retirement. It's too late. So meditation also helps us to bring in that possibility of just being, breathing, knowing. Don't race to get to the end of the meditation. Don't race to get to the end of each breath. Just allowing and then relinquishing, allowing, relinquishing, allowing, letting go each breath in a leisurely way. And that's where also the breath will become slower, even less breath, because we're not sort of having to suck in a lot of oxygen to keep going at pace. less breathing. In a way, it's like the heart, which is a muscle, is a leisurely muscle. It's not like a bicep or a thigh muscle, which is like for full-on exert and then fatigue. The heart is a leisurely muscle. It has to pump even before you're born up until the moment of death. Can't go, oh, I'm taking a break for the weekend. I'll stop pumping now. It just pumps and pumps and pumps and pumps. But the heart as a muscle has leisure built into each beat. Da-da, 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 da-da. It's not da-da-da-da, da-da, da-da, da-da. So it sort of has a relax there. And, it's, if all being well, it will go till the end of one's life. So to have that sort of same approach to life, and maybe even as an experiment, I'm going to have more of a leisurely attitude, feel, approach, a new paradigm of engaging and being, and let's see how that feels. Do I feel more at ease? Do I sort of experience more life? Am I more at ease in myself and with others? Do I feel more relaxed? Do I sleep better? Do I work better? Do I digest food better? All those things. So give it a go and see. Any thoughts or considerations on this idea of leisure, a new pace, the leisurely pace?
Yeah, it seems really obvious, doesn't it? That just slowing down is more relaxing. And yeah, the more I practice it, why have I lived my life at such a fast pace? I could have been, enjoying each moment so much more. And when I do that, I'm conserving energy. And I just feel so much more alive than when I'm rushing.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to experience that today because we had a photographer coming at 10 a.m. to take photos. So I've been rushing around, cleaning and decluttering the house and getting ready for that.
Rushing,
because I had a deadline. And I was like, I've got to do all these things. And then finally, when he left, I was able to sit down and have some lunch and just relax and make a cup of tea and enjoy it without any deadline. And the contrast was really extreme to feel that rushing. Now I can stop.
Well, I think even moving briskly or swiftly can be done in a leisurely way, because it's the attitude that creates I'm rushing in a stressed way or moving swiftly in a sort of a leisurely way.
I did notice that because I kept my meditation practice up every day still, that I could catch myself rushing in more of a panicked way, like
mental
a frantic
rushing
way, yeah, and say it's okay, calm down, you'll get it done, and just work through this step, and then you'll go on to the next step, and it's fine. So I managed to catch myself a lot from not panicking that I'm going to run out of time, but just saying, okay, just complete the task and then move on to the next one.
Which again is what Brother David Steindl says about giving each task the time that the task requires.
Yeah. But then when I could make a cup of tea, especially, I can just focus just on making the tea calmly and slowly, and then enjoy the tea calmly and slowly. It felt like a mini holiday after all of the activity.
Quite like the idea though, because there's a lot of busy parts of my life, but I quite like the idea that you can be busy, but it can be leisurely busy. So you are just giving it the amount of time that it needs. So even if you're doing something quickly, it's about the mental load that you put on yourself in that moment that makes it either destructive or just present, I guess, or mindful. In my job, sometimes when people are learning new skills, we tell them that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And so I don't know, that's always just been something that stayed with me, that if you're learning something and you take the time, the amount of time required to learn it, you'll actually be more effective at doing it.
Yeah.
quickly.
Less mistakes.
Mhm.
And certainly, in the context of health, sort of medical health, you want people that are calm and ordered and attentive, not sort of busy and stressed and rushed. Especially working as a team.
I did quite a big hike once in Papua New Guinea, and I was walking with some of the locals while I was there, and they said the funniest thing about Australians is that they always try to get to the top really quickly. And he said the way to get to the top the fastest is to only walk as fast as your breath. And so then I just walked with them at their pace and only went as quickly as I could breathe, continue breathing and not get out of breath. And your stamina is much further than you think it's going to be. It was a really lovely trick.
I remember that from when I was living in Switzerland. We the monastery was up very high, but and then once a week we go for a walk up higher, right up to sometimes the top of the ridges of mountains, glaciers, walking on glaciers. But to get up there, the air was thin to begin with, but you couldn't rush. If you sort of say, "Oh, I've got a few hours, I want to get up there," it's like you have to sort of really pace and body and breath hard at sort of in a type of a synergy or synchronicity, so it aligns. Otherwise, and also the head as well, because if the head's getting too far ahead, it can be a problem. The body's trying to sort of keep up, and then you start panting and your heart's going really fast, so you've got to stop. So sort of a nice, easy pace, a bit like running a marathon. There was a song, I guess it was from the 70s. Slow down, you move too fast. Got to make the morning last. Na, 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 na. Remember that one?
Kind of. Sing it again.
Get some tunes.
Slow down, you move too fast. Got to make the morning last. This was sung by a woman. Na, 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 na.
Happy, is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
The chorus, yes.
What was the chorus?
Oh, something happy.
Yeah, happy. Yeah, it had happy in it. Yeah. But again, just that phrase, slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Also, the challenge is that when everyone else is moving at like a pace, so that fast pace, but like in traffic, it's easy to get caught up in that pace, that rush as well. So the idea of being able to even just slow down a bit, and whether it's at work or at home, and help to create a new pace, a new feel, a new vibe, a new way of being. Because one person, if they're stressed, they're speaking fast, moving fast, thinking fast, then the other people sort of get caught into that. Notice if someone's speaking fast, you tend to speak fast with them. Even maybe if someone does, maybe start to speak very slowly and see if they maybe slow down as well.
Yes, that's what I was kind of surprised with my reaction as you were talking, because I'm going, yes, I totally agree. And then there's also a strong reaction, which is like, hurry up, I don't know, like kind of leaping into this judgment of like, why aren't you, I don't know, go faster, don't be lazy, like keep it up. And, anyway, it was good to hear that.
Yeah, because it's such that we get caught into that sort of fastness, that pace, that adrenaline, that drive, and even the competition of that. and it's just not healthy. It's we miss out on savoring the moment, coming to our senses and savoring the moment, and it's like being able to look out the window and experience life. And we can't sort of see or experience life if we're moving too fast. Everything becomes a blur. How was your life? Oh, it was a blur. What do you remember? I don't remember anything. It was just this streaked blur. It's like my life, the last decades or whatever, it was sort of like just everything was streaked through.
I was reading something from Ajahn Brahm like that, where he's like, don't be the driver, be the passenger. Right? Because the driver's focused on what's ahead. As the passenger, you can kind of enjoy the scenery.
Well, even again, sadly these days, cars have screens in them, not just on the front for the driver to look at for a map, but the people in the back are looking at screens, and they're not looking out of the window and looking at things. They're just looking at flickering images on a screen.
Yeah, I drove behind a car where the kids were all glued to whatever iPads on the back of the seat, and I just thought, I remembered the times of sitting in the back, being in the back of the car and just looking up and seeing the clouds go by and the trees, and just that time to kind of daydream and whatever, It was like, I thought, I wonder what effect that will have on imaginations and just general well-being.
Exactly. Yeah. It's certainly affecting people, children neurologically. Their brains are being modified to deal with that, or to that type of attention and focus. And it's sad. It's they're missing out on that ability to see and to feel and to think for themselves.
Dream.
I've had clients that they hate books because books are just reading. It's just lines, black lines and circles on a page, because their brain had stopped creating imagination because they were always on screens. So the inability to read a line and visualize and imagine a story is becoming sort of not able to occur.
Very sad.
I think I'm naturally a very slow person, and so I always enjoyed that. It's like, I'm standing somewhere and looking at things, and I think it becomes very, very old-fashioned, because it frequently happens that people stop and say, "Are you all right?" Looking at something.
Exactly.
But of course, it's just like to compare myself. Oh, wow, I'm not fast enough, because everything else is much faster than my natural pace.
Well, we can sort of create a new approach, or a revolution in consciousness. The slow is better. So what do you say, Mick? Slow
Is smooth.
Slow is smooth,
Smooth is
and
fast.
smooth is fast.
It can be the slow down movement.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So give that some consideration over the week. Enjoy your slow week ahead, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for coming out.